Young coming in to make the catch. Was not sure he was going to get there, but he does. Hung up long enough and makes the grab on a rise for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Time now for the Sequant Casino Resort scouting report.
Well, he's got strikeout stuff, and the changeup usage is up. He'll throw that changeup to the righties. We got some chirping going on at home plate right here. We got some.
Whoa! Profar got into it with the catcher Ruiz, and the bench is empty. So last night, Profar, after the walk-off, appeared to be motioning towards the Nats dugout, and words were just exchanged here as Profar was stepping into the box. And of course, he had the walk-off last night, and the catcher Ruiz kind of got pushed out of that area by his teammates. He appeared to be the most aggressive in it all. Manny came over from the on deck circle, and he also got involved trying to separate some people. Wandy Peralta trying to fix some things here. Here's how it started.
Oh, yeah, he initiated it.
Yeah,
Ruiz.
Profar wasn't even looking at it. And then Manny comes in, and then Ruiz kind of hops back, and the bench is empty.
Yeah.
And now we're just doing a lot of talking. Profar's just kind of listening, and then Manny came over and pushed him out of the way. Looks like this is going to break up amicably as they start to head back to their dugouts.
Yeah, and you would have to think that the umpire's taking charge here. I mean, you got to talk about warnings given out. I mean, throwing at hitters, whatever the case may be.
Mike Schilt is in a discussion with Dave Martinez right now. And that's kind of interesting. Schilt certainly has his players back here, but now you got the managers kind of going after each other. And generally in these situations, it's you got to control your guy here.
Yeah.
And we've seen that before. Remember Dave Robertson, Andy Green got into it some years ago. And it was the same kind of thing, and now they're starting to bark back and forth at each other. Schilt and Martinez continue. And Schilt is fired up.
You know, there was a lot of emotion last night. I mean, let's face it, a big league ball game, any sport at the highest level, any level really. You know, you come from behind, it's a big moment. Jerkson's at the plate. Came up big. In a situation like that, you know, you're going to be fired up. And I think, Don, it's one of those situations when it's the other team that's doing it, you're ticked off. But if it's your guy, hey, you know what? It's part of the game. It just happens.
We're trying to get everybody off the field here, and Profar would like to go back to his at-bat. Last night, this was after the walk-off, and he was kind of motioning towards their dugout. And this is probably what they took exception to last night, I would imagine. I mean, it was a tough loss for them all the way around. They had a 3-run lead going into the bottom of that inning. Now the conversation continues here. Profar and Ruiz, as the umpires were busy talking to each other, and these two are back to talking together. And they seem okay. And actually, I think they were okay until Manny kind of arrived on the scene there before.
Yeah.
Now Profar's backing away. And now more Padres are coming out. Schultz coming out.
Yeah, you cannot afford to get tossed out of this ballgame. That's, I mean, Jerkson, the way he's playing the game right now, swinging a hot bat, integral part of the offense, cannot afford to get tossed in this one. Manny's trying to be the peacemaker right here with Ruiz.
We'll see if the umpires do anything here as far as ejections or anything goes, or they just kind of leave it. I guess they could pass out warnings too.
Absolutely, that's what that was my initial thought. There's no doubt about that. I would be thinking the same along with you there.
Because if Profar were to be hit here, it's pointing to one dugout. There's your warnings.
Yep.
Yeah, right there. So both sides now have been warned in the first inning. And so now basically anything that does is if they do throw at Profar here, which you might imagine they would have before maybe, now it would be an instant ejection.
Right.
So Winker made the last out last inning, and he said some stuff to Profar on the way by last inning. And I'm not sure what that's about. Clearly the Nats were not pleased with what took place last night.
No, and you know what? Like I said, players get emotional. Everybody's different. Jurickson was motioning, looked like towards their dugout, and then to the fans. He made his way around, home plate, and then over towards the dugout last night, trying to get the fans into it.
All right, so here we go. Warnings have been issued. .317, 10 homers, 50 runs batted in for Jurickson Profar. And he gets hit with a pitch. That's, I don't know. It's a fastball. It's at 98. Gone. Ejected.
Yeah,
gotta be. Has to be.
Absolutely. It doesn't take a rocket scientist.
Wait a minute. No, Hamari just ejected Schilt, I believe. Because Schilt couldn't believe they didn't eject Gore. That's why. So that's what happened.
I thought he was pointing at Gore, but you're right, Don.
He was pointing towards Schilt.
Yeah.
And I got to be with you on this. I mean, 98 miles an hour. I don't care where they hit him. It was low.
Yeah.
They still threw at him.
I agree.
Right?
I agree with you. Yeah. I really. If I had to check a box, yes. And that's
Warnings were already handed out.
And that's just my gut feeling. Yes. Intentional. Yes.
So now Schilt's gone.
You judge off reactions. Mackenzie Gore's reaction was like, oh, shucks, why did I do that? But hey, I thought for sure something was going to, especially after the warnings.
Yeah, I thought that may squelch anything they were going to do.
Isn't it ironic, though, right after the warnings, the first pitch, he's hit.
98-mile-an-hour fastball hits him.
Right?
Yeah. 1 out, 1 on. And Manny Machado will see if they can make a pay. High drive, deep left field. Winker back at the wall. Take that, says Manny Machado. Profar's fired up, and he should be. They hit him intentionally, and then Manny hits one out of the yard intentionally. And the Padres take a 2-0 lead. How about them apples? Talk about firing up a team.
I tell you what, after last night's happenings and walk-off, how about the script written early this evening? Unbelievable.